welcome back to my channel, Fictional Latitide. I'm Deborah. I hope you're well and you're enjoying your reading at the moment. As you'll have seen from the little clips at the beginning, I did manage to head into Malaga this week. However, I was going to give you a really big video on the literary history and influences and such like of Malaga, but unfortunately, because this is the law of sod and it works in my life all the time, I had got into the first bookshop, having done a little quick wander and only filmed three, and then I got a phone call from my father saying that my mother wasn't well and could I come over. So down everything goes, head in the car, toddle off, and yeah, she's fine actually now, but needs must and all that. So I'll just give you a little rundown of what you have seen. So first of all, you'll have seen Hans Christian Andersen, and you're going to think, what the heck is a Danish... I said Danish and then I was like, is he Danish? Writer going to be doing in Malaga? Well, he wrote a book of travels in Spain in 1862 and he absolutely fell in love with Malaga when he was there. So we have a statue, a bronze sculpture of him on a bench near the port, and that's why he's there, which is, I have to say, I thought that was quite bizarre when I first came here. Then the second statue is Salomon ibn Gabirol, and he was a Jewish philosopher from the 11th or 12th century, and he wrote 2 treatises, and as I say, he's a philosopher, what have you. He is standing very sensibly in the shade opposite the Alcazaba, which is the Moorish castle, and the Roman theatre. So you'll have seen footage of that. I then toddled up to my favourite square in Malaga, which is the Plaza de la Merced, which has a very big open square and beautiful buildings on 3 sides of it, and a nice obelisk in the middle. And in the corner it has another sculpture, bronze sculpture, and this time it's not a literary one, it's actually Picasso, because he was born in the house on the corner, and so we have Picasso with his pencil sat there. But there is a literary connection to Plaza de la Merced, and that is from the Galvez family, and one of the family, what's her name, I've got to look it up because I always forget it, Maria Rosa de Galvez de Cabrera, and she was a poet. She was also the cousin. The Galvez family had a lot of impact actually on the world. Her cousin was the Galvez after whom Galveston in Texas is named. So he was in the village just up the road from me here in Macharavillaya, where every 4th of July they celebrate, which is just made me think that's later on this week, where they do a reenactment from the American Civil War. Because Galvez was in America, he was one of the Spanish governors, and he was successful in the Battle of Pensacola in defeating the Brits. So he kicked us out, helped kick us out of America, and as a result, they named Galveston in Texas after him. Then we have Chinitas, which is just a little alleyway off the Plaza de la Constitución, so the Constitution Square in Malaga, and it's a very quaint little alleyway, and there used to be the Café de Chinitas there, and Lorca used to hang out there quite a bit. So that's why I've taken some footage of Chinitas. And also, you will see, but I have to say, there is a very nice rooftop bar there above the hostel. So if you're in Malaga, head up there. Good views. And we have on the floor of the Plaza de la Constitución, so that Franco died in 1975, 6. Oh, gosh, my... Somebody has deigned to drive along the track. And after that, obviously, we've gone from dictatorship. The country needed to have a constitution. And in 1979, they got the constitution. And on the floor, again, bronze, are front pages of the national newspapers with the headlines about the constitution. So that's why the square's named after that. Other things, I've got to go and shout at a dog. Hold on. People are turning up for lunch, so I think we're just going to have to get on with dogs barking in the background, to be honest. Okay, so, where was I? Oh yes, we've done the Constitution. What I didn't get to do was a lot of other stuff. In the Soho part of Malaga, which, say, 150, 200 years ago, was very nice. Palacios there, very nice buildings. Anyway, it became very run down because it is near the port. And as part of the renovation of the area, it's not quite gentrification. It hasn't gone back that way. There's a lot of street art there, which is nice. So I like to go round Soho, and we also have the Contemporary Art Centre there as well. So that's all good. But in Soho, we have... 1 minute, let me consult my notes. I've gone the wrong way. What the bloody hell is it? So in Soho, we have got a plaque on the Calle Córdoba to Vicente Alexandre, who won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And he was named an honorary citizen of Malaga because he wasn't here. And he has a really nice quote, which I'm going to read. He said, "I was born looking at the light, even at books, in Malaga, for that is where I learned to read, so I was born twice." So, Calle Córdoba is where he stayed, and that's why he has a plaque in his honour. He was part of the Generation 27 poets there. Also related to Malaga, we have got Hemingway. He stayed in Churiana and wrote one of his books there. Oh my God, what's wrong with that? The Dangerous Summer. But of course, he's also well known for Ronda, which is in Malaga province, but it's up in the mountains, where he was rather obsessed with the bullfighting, what have you, so he was there. And then we also have Gerald Brennan, who was a poet, and as you can tell by his name, he was not Spanish, but he lived here in Churiana, which is a sort of a suburb of Malaga, and he's buried in the St. George's Cemetery in Malaga. But anyway, there is a lot more which I could go on about, but I'm actually going to try and do it again and do it a little bit more coherently as well. So enjoy the little taster at the beginning of Malaga, and I shall try and get that done better next time. One of the things I'm not ready to do my end of the month reading yet, because I started a book and I want to see whether I can finish it in the next couple of days and then bring you June's reading. So what I'm going to do is, on Instagram there was a challenge, 6 countries, 6 books. So I'm going to tell you which 6 books and countries I picked. And why? This one I have spoken about recently, so you will know I am a new fan, as in I've only discovered her in the last year and a half or whatever. Elif Shafak's The Island of Missing Trees. which I read either earlier, yeah, I think it was earlier this year, wasn't it? And absolutely adored, just as I did with her 10 minutes and 38 seconds book. So Turkey, Elif is from, I hope I'm saying that her name correctly, is from Turkey originally. She lives in Britain now, and she just writes the most amazing books. This one is about a couple who are on Cyprus, and then the country got split. So it's about their romance and the politics and the awful things that happened in Cyprus. But it's a love story with a fig tree. So this is, love that one. So that's Turkey. Then I went for Virgil's The Aeneid. So we're hitting Italy now. This was, I studied this as part of my BA, and this is basically the Romans providing their own version of Homer in Virgil. In this, he follows Aeneas, or Aeneas, I should say, who was the legendary predecessor to the Emperor Augustus, during whose reign Virgil wrote this. And basically, Virgil wrote this to say thank you to Augustus for ending 100 years of civil war in the Roman Empire and bringing them some peace. So he follows, a bit like in Homer's The Odyssey, we always end up following these men who make some really bad decisions. But anyway, so in this one, we're following Aeneas, and he survived Troy, and then he trots off to Carthage. Well, takes him 7 years to get to Carthage. When he gets to Carthage, what does he do? Falls in love with Queen Dido. This is not a good idea. Anyway, he then ends up going down into the underworld, and eventually he gets back to Italy and he founds Rome. So that's that story. So it's not Romulus and Remus, according to Virgil. So that was my Italy one. Then I have Paolo Coelho de Zahir. Now, I read this so many years ago, I can't really remember what it's about, apart from the fact, as it says at the bottom, it's a novel of obsession. So I am going to read from the back. No, Paolo Coelho is Brazilian, so that's where we've gone here. But this novel moves around the world, actually. It ends up in Central Asia. That much I do remember. So, from the back. One day, a renowned author discovers that his wife, a war correspondent, has disappeared, leaving no trace. Was she kidnapped, blackmailed, or simply bored with their marriage? His search for her and for the truth of his own life takes him from South America to Spain, France, Croatia, and eventually the bleakly beautiful landscape of Central Asia. More than that, it leads him into a new understanding of the nature of love, the power of destiny, and what it really means to follow your heart. So that, and I think I did enjoy it. So, unlike The Alchemist, I got a bit annoyed with The Alchemist, but anyway. So that was my Brazil. Then, and I know I'm going to pronounce his name wrong because I always pronounce Dutch names wrong, is J.M. Coetzee. Coetzee. Zay. Coetzee. Flippin' Nora. Anyway, sorry, him. This won the 1999 Booker Prize, and it's called Disgrace. And it's about a lecturer who, 2 failed marriages, has an affair that he shouldn't have done with one of his students. That then fizzles out. He gets reported, loses his job, goes and lives with his daughter on her small holding, but then there's an attack. And this looks at the way the whites had to deal with the end of apartheid and so on. So it's not very big, but it packs a punch. So definitely, I've got quite a few of his books actually, so you'd have thought I'd know how to pronounce his name by now, wouldn't you? So that's South Africa. Then I went to America, and Tales of the City by Armistead Maupin. Honestly, I just found this amusing, sad. It just gives all of the emotions. All these little vignettes, little pictures of people's lives, all captured in this really brilliantly written book. Maupin is gay, so there's quite a bit of look at a few gay characters in there as well. So as well as a straight girl, she's the one. It starts with her. She decides that she doesn't want to live at home anymore. She's gone down to San Francisco for a break, and then she phones up her mum, says, "Oh, by the way, I'm not coming home." And so she moves into this accommodation, and it follows the people in there. Brilliant. It's America. And finally, my sixth country was actually where I live now, but Spain, and Carlos Ruiz Zafón's The Shadow of the Wind. I just adore this book. I don't know how many times I've read it now. I just really, really love it. So Daniel, his father, runs a bookshop. His mother has died. He's a young chap, Daniel, and he ends up in the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, and he has The Shadow of the Wind is the book that he adopts as his book, and it's just, it's lovely. It's just so beautifully, beautifully written. I have tried to read it in Spanish as well, but I can't appreciate it enough because my Spanish is so poor. But the translator has done a very good job because it is beautiful in English as well. So they were my 6 books, 6 countries. Anything else that's new? I haven't bought not one single book this month. Not one. What the heck is going on? I haven't even managed to find a decent book at the book exchange, or the book crossing as they call it, on the beach. I've been going along, clutching my Victoria Hislop because somebody might like reading her, even though I don't, to do a swap, and I can't find one that I want to swap it with. So it's like, no. But I did get, hang fire, because it was my birthday this week. Not this week, this month. I did receive 2 new second-hand Agatha Christie's from the Italian. They came in little plastic covers, which is good because they are 1980s American versions. So we've got Death Comes as the End, and we have 3 blind mice in this one. And, well, I can't remember the last time I read these, because this was also the mousetrap. So I'm looking forward to opening those packages. Well, I did open that package, as you can see. Opening these and giving them another go. But that is truly the only 2 books that have come in to the Cater household this month. And quite frankly, that's not good enough. So we need to do... I need to go book shopping, which I was going to do on Monday, but then, as you know, I received that phone call. So hopefully I shall go shopping and get some more in the next week or 2. Because the bookshop, one of the bookshops that I go to, they had a really nice display in the window about books about Malaga. And I thought, and I was going to go back in there because it was on the way back to the car. But, you know, such is life. These things are sent to try us and test us and what have you. I think I passed the test. I gave everything up and went home to my mother. So that's going to be the thing. Okay, well, I shall be back with my June wrap-up. The last book that I picked out of the TBR bookcase was The Butterfly Box by Santa Montefiore. So I'm hoping that I can get that finished in the next couple of days, and then I'll be able to go through all of the books I've read in June. Okay, take care, enjoy your reading, bye!